Hello, everyone. My name is Tamika Williams. I'm about to say Palmer. That was my marriage name. And I just wanted to get on here just to introduce myself. I am starting a YouTube channel. And on the YouTube channel, it would be a bunch of pranks. Excuse everybody talking in the background. I told them that I was recording. Okay. There would be a lot of pranks. There would be storytelling. And I'm basically getting on here to tell my story, to introduce myself so you can know who I am and I'm telling the story. My story is to be told of my life story. Some things will be exposed, and some things won't. Now, only thing I'm asking is that if you don't like my channel, that's fine. Don't be up here putting negative comments because if you do, you will be blocked, and you will miss all the fun that we are having, and you will be wondering, could you come back? But if you do something that disrespectful or whatever, excuse my kids.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Excuse my kids,
I
okay?
apologize.
So, and you do something that's disrespectful, you will be blocked. Okay, so I'm going to begin to tell my story. Go ahead, just ask her what you want to ask her for. I'm going to begin to tell my story. Okay, my name is Tamika Williams. I used to be married. I was married 13 years, and we were together 14. So together, we were together for 27 years. Okay, for those that don't, I had to add that up on my fingers, so. And as a little girl growing up, I've been through some very difficult times, times that I wouldn't even wish on my enemy. I wouldn't wish on anyone. And so I'm going to start from the beginning. Some things I will be telling, and some things I won't be telling because the Lord has not released me to tell everything. He just wants y'all to know, excuse me, the important things, and what I went through and what I have overcame. So I was raised in Philadelphia, PA. Yay, yay, Will Smith, cheesesteaks, um, pretzels, all that good stuff. Born and raised in Philadelphia. As a little girl growing up, I can remember we were living in the projects. And if I'm not mistaken, it was around 45th in Fairmount. And there was the high risers when I was growing up. I don't know if they're still there or not. And then we moved from there, and then we moved into a three-story house right around the corner, still projects or whatever. Just gave us a little bit more space, things like that. And so as a little girl growing up, everything seemed to be okay. My mom, was in my life. She was doing the best that she could. We done had a lot of good times that I can remember as far as living in the projects. And so I just felt safe. I felt secure. I felt like that my world, that I was like in a bubble. It was Tamika and her brothers, and I have four of them, which I will not mention their names. Anything that I'm talking about when it's pertaining to somebody else, I won't mention their names because I'm not getting on here to bash nobody. I'm not getting on here to put nobody down. I'm not getting up here to make people look bad or feel bad. But I have to tell my story. For most of my life, it has not been about me. It has been about others. I always take care of other people. I let people come in my home. I have helped take care of other people's children. And listen, I may not get credit for it, and that's fine because the Lord knows what I have done and what I didn't do. And so at 7, everything was peaches and cream. My mother and I, we were close. And we're working on our relationship even as we speak. But so I'm going to tell the story. So I can remember my finest memory of a child. I used to go outside and play. I had little friends and different things like that. But the first time that I was ever touched inappropriate, I was about 7. And at 7 years old, you like, I don't know what's going on. Why is this female touching me? I look up to this female. I'm 7. I don't know nothing about being touched on or nothing. I idolize this female. And this female had me doing things, and then I didn't like it. That's not something that a 7-year-old should be going through. And then she would turn around and do things to me inappropriate. And I didn't like the way that felt. This is not a normal situation. And so I battled with that. my mom had another baby, and I'm not going to mention no names. And so while she was in the hospital, she entrusted this other person, and this other person turned around, did the same thing. And I'm like, why? As a 7-year-old girl, I'm very smart. I was very smart. Wasn't nothing dumb about me, and I was wiser than the normal 7-year-old. A lot of people said I have like a older spirit. I know things. I remember things. I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and it's not because of me. It's because of the Lord. But I knew at 7 this wasn't the right thing to do. It wasn't something that should have been done. And so um, life goes on. I kept it as a secret. I never really told anyone about that. So y'all, this is my first time really actually exposing it. And so next thing you know, we wind up losing our place in the projects, and so we had to find somewhere else to go. So my stepfather then um, had a friend that invited us to come and stay with him. It was just me, my three brothers, my mom, and my stepdad or whatever. And so when we was like moving some of the stuff in, he had like a extra bedroom or whatever. And so my mom and they put us in the bedroom, look at TV like little kids supposed to do. But I noticed that it was like some a male that that was there, which was the cousin of the person that owned the apartment, that was renting the apartment. And I noticed that he looking at me and giving me, now that I'm grown, I know that the Google eyes and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna just stay away from him in my mind. So my mom, back in the day, don't try to sit up and act like you don't know that when the mom or the dad left the house, the oldest child always had to babysit. So don't sit up here and be like, oh, your mom was a bad person. No, especially with black people, because I did it. I had my oldest daughter to watch, watch my younger kids. Okay, so don't sit up there and act like you don't know about that, because that's how we was raised. And so she said, don't open the door to Mika for nobody. Um, so I heard somebody knocking at the door. So I thought it was, my mom or whatever coming back. And so next thing you know, it was the guy. He like, open up the door, open up the door. I said, my mom told me not to open the door for nobody. This my cousin plays a la 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 la. So I began to I opened the door. So when I opened up the door, I was going back towards the room, and he grabbed my hand and yanked me back. Excuse me, y'all. And he threw me on a bed, on like they had like a pull out couch, pulled me and pushed me on the bed. And so when he pushed me on the bed, he began to try to do things. At this time, um, I was about 10. I was about 10, and this time I'm like, here we go with, like, what is going on? Why is this happening? To me, because previous to that, I was 5, and it was a babysitter, and it was a man, and he opened up my legs and urinated on me, which to this day I don't understand. Um, why did he do that? At the time I was about 5. When this happened, and so I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit because I forgot something. And one time, like back in the day in Philadelphia, you can go to the store by yourself. And so we lived on, I forgot the name of the street, but it was a street that was like, it was a small street. So when you going down the street, you would make a right, and it's just an alleyway. Okay, so then you go through that little alleyway, then you would make a left, and you would see all the stores and stuff. And plus, they knew my mom and stuff, which my mom she's kind of crazy, fighting people and stuff. So we're gonna get into that a little later. But so I went to the store. So it was daytime when I went to the store, but it was kind of like, how like it's about to turn dark. It's not fully dark, but it's about to turn. It's like evening time. So I'm coming walking home. So my mom like, Mika, where you been? We've been looking for you. We've been looking for you. And so I'm like, was with, you know, with so and so, and she like, you ain't supposed to be with so and so. What is going on? And so I began to tell her this is what he did, and he wouldn't let me leave, and so forth. So uh, she seen him, and she went down there, and she about to fight him, and got a gang of people about to take it to him, had him arrested, which I didn't find out till I was an adult. So that was the first incident was when the babysitter just urinated on me, which didn't make no sense. Then the second time is when I was taken. Um, it was going for several hours, and how many hours it was, I really don't know. So now we back at the projects. We done got evicted. So now I'm in a situation again. That's why you heard me earlier say, again, I'm going through this, you know. And he threw me on the bed. If you hear me get kind of quiet, I got grandkids. I don't need them to be, my kids already know I don't need them to be hearing it. So if I hear them in the hallway, I'll just kind of lower my voice or whatever, or just do like this. So, um, and he throws me on the bed. He's trying to do things to me that's inappropriate, that a 10-year-old should not be going through. So then he heard noise and he got scared. He takes me in the bathroom and he wants me to do things to him which is inappropriate. And since that didn't work, he hit my head on a zinc. The zinc. Now back, I can't say the proper word of zinc. I don't know. I always say zinc. That's something that I need to work on. So don't laugh at me. So he began to bang my head. Now you know back in the day in the 70s, because I was born in the 70s, they didn't use that plastic stuff like they use now. you know, you hit the zinc now, boy, that's it. You see what I'm saying? That thing gonna break and fall apart. But back then, I don't know what materials that they used, but it ain't put no dent in it or nothing. So he began to hit my head. 2 times. Yeah, 2 times he hit my head up against the zinc. Then I'm dizzy. Now I'm like in and out. He laid me on the ground and he began to try to do things to me. So he heard noise because I remember my brothers was about to come out. I had two brothers and they were about to come out. I have actually five, but it was the two of them that was about to come out. I guess go to the bathroom or looking for me or whatever. And he ran. He ran out the front door. So I'm just like in and out. Like I can't, I'm so dizzy that I just feel like I'm just about to die, you know? And I'm like, why? Like, do I got rape me? Rape Tamika? Anytime you want, touch her, pee on her, do all these inappropriate things, to her. And I couldn't understand it, and so three people came back to the house, and I can't mention their names, and I won't mention their names if I could. Like I said, I ain't trying to hurt nobody, but I gotta tell my story. The Lord been on me about giving this testimony because there's people out there that's going through. There's people out there that just want to give up, want to kill themselves, want to just die because you born into this world. You like, I'm not expecting nothing bad to happen. It feels safe. It feels like you secure. And then all of a sudden these things start happening to you. You're like, what's going on? Why does this just happening to me? Because, at the time, I don't know why. I can't answer for myself. I'm a kid that's supposed to be protected. What happened to, the parents or your loved ones? They're protecting you. They're supposed to be the one to say, hey, I'm going to jump in front of you in case somebody try to hurt you or in case somebody try to. And I could never understand that, And so after that happened, we had to be uh, separated. So two of the brothers went with a family member, and I went with my great grandmother. God bless her soul. Um, and she took me in. So I felt safe. I felt secure. I didn't feel like I had to watch out, because I'm like, I must be walking around with a stamp on my head saying, just do what you want to do to her because she's not important. You know, people just peeing and doing all kind of stuff, um, towards me or whatever. So, great grandma, she ain't nothing to play with. Woman of God, reads you before you even hit her door. She was the real deal. And so she took me in and I stayed there for a little bit. Next thing you know, we have to go back and forth because now we're going to courts for the rape of me being 10 years old being raped. And now we're fighting. There's a battle going on between who's going to get custody of the kids. So my grandma used to take me down there to court in Philadelphia. And my mom would be there. And, she would be telling me stuff and bringing me gifts and different things like that. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. My grandma told me, she said, your mom um, don't want you back just because she love you. Your mom wants you back because of a check. So I'm like, Grandma, you don't disrespect Grandma. You don't talk back to Grandma. You just listen to what Grandma has to say. And so, and Grandma was right. And so I was confused because now I'm 12 and I don't know. I just wanted that love. Like I just wanted. I seen so many little girls growing up, and they would be with their mom and they would be with their dad or whatever, and and I couldn't understand why didn't I have that. Why couldn't you know you have a mom that just loves you unconditionally. And I'm not saying that she never loved me. I'm just saying that I don't think that she was taught to love the right way. Like I love her to this day. I talk to her. We talk to each other once in a blue moon or whatever. I call check on her. She called check on me. But I gotta tell the truth, and I can't sugarcoat this. I always wanted that relationship that we can go to the store, we can, do these different things without it always being some type of, if you don't do what I tell you to do, then I'm gonna stop dealing with you, or if you don't do this and do that, I'm not gonna be there for you. Why does it have to be, what would you say, like a tick for tat? I would never do that to my kids. I would never put them in a position where they would feel uncomfortable. I'm that type of mom that, back in the day, I cut you. I'm telling you right now, I'll cut you. I take a baseball bat, whatever it was when it came to my kids. This is what parents are supposed to do. And it angers me because it's like you have so many beautiful kids that done died of the hand of their abuser and no one speaks up about it. Now it's swept under the rug. It angers me. Do you understand that, that people would just be intentionally just mean to children, knowing that they was the children themselves. We ain't just come out of mama's womb and we just an adult. We were a baby. We had to, go through being a baby and, being a kid, teenager, a young adult, a full adult. So that part, you see me rising up is because why? And I know that it's something sick that you as a woman or you as a man will go so low to violate, to chance if you coming in here, come in here. If not, go in your mama room. What you gonna do? Come on, cause you interrupted my video now. I ain't say get on my bed. Chance, get off my bed. Sorry, y'all. My dog think that he coming here, he's like the king or something. I don't know what his problem is. He's not allowed to be on my bed because I'm going to tell you what happened. I put him on the bed. He going to kick me off the bed. So you kick me off the bed, you ain't allowed to be on the bed. So he be trying to be slick. So lay right here. You want to say hi to the people? Want to say hi? Lord have mercy. But anyway, and so that angered me. It has angered me all my life, and so I felt like I wasn't important enough. I felt that I wasn't special. I felt that, No one loved me. You know, I felt that this was God's plan for my life. Like, Lord, you're up there. Why are you not helping? You know, why isn't no one coming to say, hey, Mika, how you doing? How are you feeling? These things have happened to you. You know, how do you feel about it? You know, you want to get some counseling. You know, it's like back in the day, like things was like whatever happened in this house happened in this house. You know, we're going to sweep it under the rug. Your uncle done raped you, your cousin done raped you, everybody done raped you, and you can't talk about it. You better not talk about it or be disrespectful about it. And I think that's why this generation, you know, some of it like the generation people, kids just like out of whack. They ain't like, you know, we had to be quiet. You know, we had the freedom of giving a speech. You gonna shut up, you gonna do what I tell you to do, and that's it. So you bound all that stuff up in you. You know, and so this would really, really mess me up. And I'm telling this story. Don't feel bad for me. Don't feel bad for me. Don't feel no pity. No, because my Lord has saved me, and I'm gonna tell y'all about that. It may take a couple of days, but I'm gonna tell you about that. My Lord protects me, and He loves me. You know, I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. This story right here is to inspire somebody and to help someone that may be going through, that may feel lost, that may feel like, hey, I couldn't get through this. You know, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just want to go and kill myself. No, killing yourself is not going to help you. Because listen, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus and you gonna kill yourself, everybody holler, oh, they made it to heaven. Think about it. Read your Bible. God don't like self murder. Where you see in the Bible that God He loves self murder? Come on now, self murder. Let's be honest. Let's talk about the truth. See, people don't want to talk about the truth. God don't like self murder. So if you kill yourself, where you think you're going? If He don't like self murder, okay, I'm gonna leave that right there for you to think about it. And so I'm going through all these emotions. I'm feeling like nobody loves me. I feel like I've been abandoned. I feel like that nobody ain't give me a hug or say, hey, you know, I got you. You know, it was never. I never felt that. You know, certain females, I mean to say females, certain family members, they were there. Certain family members, they love me. You know, certain family members didn't. To this day, I don't know why. You know, I'm a really pleasant person. You know, we all got two sides to us. You see what I'm saying? And I used to be mean. I used to, you know, as growing up, you know, I just said what I wanted to say. I didn't care what you wanted to say. You know, very protective of my kids. My kids would go places, and I would check their private parts. You know, asking them numbers of questions. You know, then I stopped letting them go places because then, you know, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. If I was in silence for a lot of years about this situation, and then me and my oldest daughter had a situation, and she kept some things in. I'm thinking I'm putting them around people that are safe, that people that's going to protect them, and come and find out they own their own family members. You see what I'm saying? Did things to them. But see, the thing is, when somebody all of a sudden just come out of nowhere and do something to you, it was done to them. Now that's not no excuse. Believe me, that's not no excuse. And that person need to go get counseling, get some type of help. But if we as parents, if some of us, you know, in the streets and doing this, doing that, and not paying attention to our children, it's always red flags. There's always a warning sign. There's always destruction. God always gives destruction to His people before something happens. So after all this was said and done, I'm in, you know, my grandmother was allowing me to go back and forth to um, to visit my mom for the weekend. My grandma, I was 10. Grandma taught me, you can tell me something, teach me something, I'll remember it for life, you know. Good with remembering numbers and all that type of stuff. And so grandma taught me how to catch the bus in Philadelphia. Catch the C bus, going to take you to Broad Street, and you get off at Broad and Columbia, and then you take the 3 bus that's going to drop you off where, stop chance, where my mom lived at. And so, you know, grandma said, you sure you want to go? You know, you feel safe, you feel secure. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. We had to say, yes, ma'am. We can't do all that. Yo, mom, what you talking about, yo, mom? Grandma better smack you. Grandma better smack you the next week. You tell my yo mom. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. You know, and so I was going down there, I'm visiting. I'm feeling love. I'm feeling wanted. I'm like, okay, this is looking good, feeling good. I got to spend some time with some other family members, my little cousins, stuff. Like I said, I can't mention. I won't. It's not that I can't mention their name. I won't mention their names. And so, I'm living my life or whatever. So next thing you know, my mom was waiting for this because it was a three-story house. So she was actually waiting for the third floor to be released so she can move up there. She said, "You should come on home. Things are going to change and you know, and both. So blase blase." So I'm like, yeah, I just want to be with my mom, like, and I'm just like thinking, like, is this the best thing to do? Is this something that needs to be done? I'm 12 years old trying to make a decision, you know, and it was so good, and it was candy, and it was this, and it was, I feel like I was in a circus or something, or I was in a candy store. Pick whatever you want to pick. And so, chance stop. And so, uh, get on the bed. Go ahead. Go over there with Shamia. Go ahead. Because you irritate. Go ahead. Shy, call them. Go ahead. Sorry, y'all. I tell you, the other two will be in here in a minute. That's my grandson and what you call it, a fur animal. And I got two, love my grandkids, but I got two, a boy and a girl. So, and so, everything was, hey, sell that story. It's good. It feels good. It's wonderful. And to be honest, y'all, like, I love my mom and I love my dad. Don't get me wrong. And I think that they was just taught, they did what they was taught. I used to blame them. I used to hate them, but I don't no more because I have forgiven them. You know, um, and I have really allowed the Lord to cleanse me and purify me because of that situation. Cause see, you can't hate your parents. When you do stuff like that, you disrespecting the Lord, and He don't like that. So it was a decision to be made. Um, so after that, I was staying with my grandmother, my great grandmother. Excuse me, y'all, and um, she was still allowing me to go and see my mom on the weekends. I could go Friday, Saturday. I had to be back Sunday. That was fine. I had to go to school. Okay, so that was fine. And so my dad happened to move um, around not too far from where my grandma lived. So that was an honor to me because um, at 7 years old, I was told that this was my father, you know, and he denied me, for 7 years. He didn't believe that I was his. He never took the time out to see if I was his, but that's okay. I dealt with that. The Lord has helped me to deal with that. And so I would go around there. And so this one particular day, um, I would go, I happened to go the night before and nothing wasn't spoken, nothing wasn't, said or whatever. And so next thing you know, I go back the next day, and the landlord, she said, she opened the door, it was an older lady, and she said, "Hey, Tamika, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing fine, ma'am. Can I go see my dad?" And she said, "See your dad?" She said, "Your dad moved." And I said, "Move where, ma'am?" And she said, "He moved to Ohio. He didn't tell you last night? You was just over here." I said, "Man, they didn't tell me." I said, "He didn't tell me anything." Oh, I began to cry. Oh, my heart. All the rape, all that I went through could not, I just wasn't good enough, you know. And it hurted me, So I wound up going to go stay with my mom, and I wind up things were good. Everything was good. Um, I got to see my cousins and my auntie and my uncle. We had little friends on the block. Grandma, she let me go out. Grandma was strict, but you had to be in before the street light went out. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Because it taught me how to be obedient. It taught me that, hey, you have to follow rules and regulations. You just can't come up here and do what you think you're going to do. And so, I love being with grandma. Grandma spoiled me. She used to give me money, give me a food stamp, go to the store, get whatever I liked it. So grandma was cool. Go to church with her. I love being around my grandma. Her spirit, it just drew people near her. And so I would love to be around her. I just sometimes would just call. I remember one time I was sick and I called grandma. I said, Grandma, I'm sick. And I was 7 years old. And she said, she didn't answer the phone. She called me back. She said, what's the matter, baby? Excuse me. And I said, Grandma, I'm sick. I think I had some type of cold. Every time September come in Philadelphia, I always get sick with a cold or something. And she prayed for me. The power that the Lord had in her, the Holy Spirit, the anointing that was on her, I'm telling you, within an hour, I was well. I was running around trying to go outside, and it was snowing and stuff. But anyway, so everything was pretty cool. And so things began to change a little bit. Things began to change for the worse. And there was a family member that was close. We were close, and this individual helped raise me from the age of 7 to 12. And so and I trusted, never looked at me inappropriate, never did anything. But for some reason, the number 12 hit, and now I'm this beautiful piece of meat. So he began to do things that was inappropriate. I'm looking at you as this, individual, and you just looking at me as like you trying to be sexual or something, touching me on my butt and hitting my breasts and all this stuff. So I go to another family member and I says, well, can you please talk to this individual because this is what he's doing and this is making me feel uncomfortable. So this individual went to the other family member and was said that that it was me being fresh, that it was me trying to come on to him. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm trying, boy, man, I done been peed on and raped on, and I'm trying to come on to you? Like, are you, and the person believed him. And I'm like, both to myself, I'm saying to myself, when I get a certain age, I'm getting the hell away, the heck away from this family because something is wrong. Because as an individual, you should know your people. You should know what a person going to do. If somebody walked up to me and said, one of my daughters, I got 4 daughters, and I got 1 son and 2 grandchildren. If one of them walked up to me and said that, now they said Charlie might have hit somebody, or Charlie, she done hit somebody. I believe that. Because that's just how Charlie is crazy. I'm trying to tell you, that's my baby. I love her. Now, if they come and tell me that Brandy came and just smacked somebody, they telling a lie. Because Brandy ain't going to walk up to you and smack you. She's not that type of individual. They tell me that Shamia punched somebody. Shamia probably did punch somebody in the face. You see what I'm saying? Or if they lie on my son and say my son just went off. Not, you know your people. I know my kids. I know what they would do. Now, if they say Tasha smacked you, now, she probably did. I'm praying for all my babies. Yeah, you crazy like they mama. You see what I'm saying? But you know your people. If they say Chance bit somebody, Chance is not going to walk up to you and bite you. Chance is the most calmest dog, I'm telling you. Nerve-wracking. Want to be up in my bed all the time and eat all my food. Okay. You tell me that Chance did that, jumped in your bed and tried to lay with you and ate your food. I know Chance did that. Because that's just how he is. But if you come and tell me that Chance bit you, you a lie. Because Chance ain't going to walk up to nobody and bite you. He is the gentlest dog. I'm going to do a video one day just of Chance. Chance is one of the I'm telling you, he is one of the generous dogs. Like you be trying to feed him something. He is so gentle when he take the food out your hand. You see what I'm saying? So when giving you an example because you know your people. You know what your people going to do. You know how they act. You know how they think. You know what they about. Because these are your people. This is your blood. So you can't, nobody can come and tell you about your kids. Nobody can come and tell you about your grandkids. Now, you tell me Elijah, that's my only grandson right now. You tell me Elijah took his car and was playing with it on the wall, Elijah did it. I don't know what's wrong with my grandson. I love him dearly, but, keep him in prayer. Elijah, he doing some stuff that just, he want to tear up everything. Now, you come and tell me that, oh, Elijah did that. He did it. But if you come and tell me that Elijah just bit you, you're a lie. Because I know what they're going to do. I know how they're going to act. And so getting back to the point of the story, the person begins to believe the other person. Well, he says you did this. And you won't believe it. So one day, I wasn't feeling well. And so I didn't go to school that day. I was allowed to stay home. And it was, I'm just going to say it because I wasn't feeling well. Nothing in particular happened. Women go through this one thing, once a month, so that's what the situation was going on. I woke up from this dream. The dream was basically telling me that the same individual that was doing things that's inappropriate was going to do something else inappropriate and the dream was so real that when I woke up, I was so scared. I began to look around. I began to ask questions of where's this individual, you know, where is he? Is he coming back? Because I'm praying that he don't come back. And I began to tell this to a family member, the dream. These are these individuals that's supposed to protect you. These are individuals that's supposed to love you. These individuals, your family members, supposed to have your back. Okay? So I began to tell this individual, hey, this is what happened. I had this dream. One thing about the Lord, when it comes to me and his relationship, he always give me a dream. He always give me a dream. He always give me warning before destruction. He always let me know what the enemy going to do. And sometimes it comes through a dream. Sometimes it might even come through a vision. Sometimes I might just be sitting there and I see a whole movie of what's about to go down. That's just how he operated me. So I began to tell him, it was like, oh, that ain't true. And, he loved you. And he raised you. And he did all these wonderful things, Why would he do this? And I said, excuse my shirt. My shirt hanging in the background. I'm trying to stop it from y'all seeing it. But, let me go to this side. But, the way y'all have to look at my shirt hanging. So, anyway, 2 weeks later, boom, it happened. I begged this family member, don't leave me alone. Please. I'm going to tell y'all something. I was so scared for my life. I was terrified. Because it was like, this is about to go down. I can feel it. That this is about to go down. And it did. Right in front of two of my brothers. One of the brothers whispered to me and said, because see what happened was, it started off as we're throwing shoes at each other. Now, what kind of game is that? Me and my kids never play no games like that. My grandkids, we going to throw shoes at each other. Don't you know them shoes is hard? Especially back in the 80s. They make these little cheap stuff now. You make one wrong turn, your shoe going to go bloop. Or your heel going to go bloop. Back in the day, I don't know what kind of material they was using. But we began to throw shoes at each other. So, one of my youngest brothers, because I'm the oldest of four, well, you can say 5 brothers. One is on my dad's side. 4 is on my mother's side. I'm the only girl on my mom's side. And so one of my brothers pulled me to the side and said, Meek, because they call me Mika. My mama, she called me Mika Deek. And one of my uncles called me Mika Deek. So usually they call me Mika. Mika, be careful. I don't like how this is going down. And I think that, you know, he going to try to do something to you. Now, if I was 12, they had to be about, they were young. They were young. Yeah, they were young. I don't even remember. I'm not going to even try to add it up, but they were young. And so it happened. You know, he did things that was inappropriate. And before he died, he told everybody he didn't do it. But let me tell you something about the law. If they got enough evidence, come on, enough evidence, you're going to go to jail. They can't just, I mean, they used to do that back in the day. But there was evidence that was proving that I was touched. Okay? And so, um, after it was done and said, I went to bed, I cried. I wanted mine. I wanted any family member that could come and hold me, take me to the doctor, do whatever. And so, before I went to school the next day, I was threatened. I was told that, and I'm 12 years old now, and I was told that if I tell anyone that I would be killed, this individual was going to kill me, and that he was serious. He was serious. I was scared. And I went to the school, to make a long story short, I went to the school, and there was always a counselor there to help me. She would have like clean clothes for me. She would do my hair for me, and she happened not to be there that day. So remind you, I'm gonna tell y'all another little story. I'm about to get off of here real quick, but um, the principal didn't like me because one day I was getting counseling, and it was like a social worker doing an interview, and she was like, "Well, how you like your teaching?" I said, "Well, sometimes I feel like they ignore me, like when I raise my hand or whatever." So I didn't know that the social worker was gonna go get the woman to go to court and all this crazy mess. I'm like, I told you this in secrecy. I didn't want the woman to get in trouble or nothing. So now we're going to court. So now the court is over with, and I'm back in her class or whatever. She's still showing me mad love. She knew what it was. I wasn't getting the proper attention. And so I just wanted some attention. But it wasn't, like I told her, it wasn't to harm her or nothing. This was a conversation between me and the social worker. So I go to school the next day. The next thing you know, the principal, he's fussing and cussing and telling me I'm a troublemaker. And see what I'm saying? Like, this is what you say. He didn't did nothing to you. You a liar. The police come, and one of the police officers happened to be a family member. Um, and I heard the voice, and she said, "Well, what's going on?" No, the male officer said, "What's going on?" And the principal said, "She said that so and so did something to her, this, and that. She ain't nothing but a liar, blah, blah, blah." I'm crying. This man won't give me a tissue. He won't show me no love, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, I hear a voice say, "How did you know that she wasn't?" When I turned around, I seen a family member. And I just felt so relief. And I felt like, wow, now something gonna happen. Somebody about to get up in trouble, man. I put my back girl, what is it called? Wonder Woman outfit on inside. Nobody ain't seen it. And I felt, boy, I tell you, when I seen that family member, woo, woo, you talking about somebody happy? Because this individual did not play. She did not play. And so we go to the hospital, you know, she go get the other family member. There's proof. They are looking for him. They're going to breast his butt. So that's some of the story that I'm going to be telling, because I have to release whatever the Lord is telling me to release. But I pray that you subscribe to my channel. I pray that that you come back to hear the rest of the story. Be blessed. Don't let nobody tell you what you can't do. Trust in the Lord. If you don't know the Lord, you want to get to know him, just send me a message, because I'm telling you something, that the Lord has brought me out of every situation I've been in, from being abused from being talked about, for wanting to kill myself. All these different things that I've been through, the Lord has really been there. He has talked me off the ledge many a times. So be encouraged. I love y'all. I pray that you'll subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscribe button, comment, and like, and share. I thank you, and you will see me soon, and I'm going to tell some more of the story. God bless you. Bye.